Round 7 of the 16-race series took the Indycars to Portland, Oregon in the northwest of the USA, renowned as the City of Roses. The Portland circuit's in a spectacular setting, with the backdrop the impressive Mount Hood. The attention centred on the Penske's naturally and on the championship leader Alan Sir Jr. in particular. Little Al enjoying a return to prominence after a couple of years where he'd been eclipsed by the likes of Paul Tracy and Nigel Mansell. Midway through the final qualifying session, Alan Sir Jr. was quickest. Nigel had taken pole at Portland in 1993. He was determined to do so again. He had one opportunity to set the fastest time when the track temperature was right and the tyres in proper condition.
Okay, Nigel, we have 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Here comes Nigel Mansell. One more time around. Let's see if he can do it.
It was a brilliant lap around the 1.95-mile road course. Co-owner Paul Newman anxiously checked progress on the computer. Others used the time-honoured method.
P1, Nigel, P1.
But Alan Sir Jr. was out again.
Alan had just nipped us at a 60.07. You're at 60.17.
Good job, everybody. We shouldn't be upset because we did a fantastic lap.
Roger, Nigel. Great job on your part. That was fantastic.
Now in Portland, you had the pole right up to the very last minute when Al Jr. pipped you. And the next Lola was Robbie Gordon way back in 7th place. How much were you having to hustle that car that day?
Oh, incredibly so. And again, it just showed, we had a number of poles then, starting in Portland, that we were there for the last minute. And I think at that particular circuit, I think Little Al got me in the last 30 seconds. But it was just indicative how the year was going to go from there on in.
From the rolling start, Alan Sir Jr. first, Nigel Mansell second, Fittipaldi and Tracy with the chasing to do, and another 28 following, including Michael Andretti starting from 9th.
Look at this! Oh, Michael Hinton!
For 27 laps, Mansell drove a storming race, holding on to second place, but Emerson Fittipaldi's pursuit was relentless and he was able to shoot past from third. Tracy's Penske also running well, and he went by to take third place. Alan Sir Jr. up front, 10 seconds ahead of the field with a clear track ahead. But in front of Mansell, a collision between Brian Herter and Scott Goodyear. It turned into another Penske victory show. Unser first, Fittipaldi second, Tracy third. Alan Sir Jr.'s 4th win of the season for his new team. And a delighted Roger Penske and Al's wife Shelley celebrated the victory. A late pit stop delayed Nigel, and he was left to defend 4th place from Robbie Gordon. Back markers involved, Gordon took 4th by a whisker at the checkered flag. One of his best races, he said afterwards, especially because he went 3rd in the championship. A rapid departure from Portland for Nigel Mansell. He'd an important transatlantic date. The VIP arrives at Brands Hatch.
Coming back to Formula One, Nigel.
Well, here today.
As the fans poured into the circuit to see their heroes return, Nigel climbed into the cockpit of a Williams Renault again.
I can say that's probably one of the happiest times of 1994. You know, I thought very naively that I was going to have a quiet test, but I didn't dream for 1 minute that there would be upwards of 15,000 people turn up on a weekday to see us test privately at Brands Hatch. And the atmosphere, the setting, the weather, all the things you can't control was all splendid. It was magnificent. And the team and the fact that we drove the car as competitively as we did, it was one great, successful, fabulous day from start to finish.
In fact, your time was comparable with the fastest active time from the year before.
Sure.
But obviously in a car devoid of all that technology. How difficult was it to step into that pitch-sensitive Formula One car after the Lola you've been driving?
Very difficult. You've got to be honest and say the truth, and it's very difficult. And we had a few sort of little misdemeanors, which were wake-up calls, as I call them. It made me realise that, you know, all my instincts that I remembered, I've got to just throw out the window. I've got to develop new ones very quickly. Because when the car stepped out on me, I thought, that's not a problem. But it was a problem. And, you know, then the whole day became a challenge to try and go quicker and quicker and quicker. And from the start of the day to the finish of the day, we found 3 seconds a lap. And in terms of speed on a short track like that, that's a lot of time.
How much did you then enjoy your weekend in France, your guest appearance?
That was a fabulous weekend. Very, very fond memories. Very sad finish, but looking at the overall thing, I'll give myself a 9 out of 10 for the whole weekend. To go there and be on the front row of the grid and virtually on pole position for the last couple of minutes, phenomenal. To make Damon work harder than he's ever worked as such to try and get pole, and see his a desperate bid out of the last corner, because I watched it over the curb and all the rest of it, and to gain just that split second more, I said to myself afterwards, well, I should have done that.